You know what I find to be funny? Vin Diesel's real name is Mark Sinclair Vincent. Diesel comes from how he's always energetic around friends, and he stars in the Fast and Furious movies where the cars most likely use diesel. Got his breakthrough in Pitch Black, though, from 2000. When their ship crash lands on a remote planet, the marooned passengers soon learn that escaped convict Richard Riddick, Diesel, isn't the only thing they have to fear. Deadly creatures lurk in the shadows, waiting to attack in the dark, and the plane is rapidly plunging into the utter blackness of a total eclipse. Not total eclipse of the heart, but just the blackness of a total eclipse. With the body count rising, the doomed survivors are forced to turn to Riddick with his eerie eyes to guide them to the darkness of safety. With time running out, there's like one rule: stay in the light. Pitch Black is an original sci-fi hit that introduced the world to the character of Riddick, the ultimate anti-hero. Take a ride on the pulse-pounding adrenaline rush that USA Today calls the best excuse to root for the bad guy since Arnold in the original Terminator. So this one, well, I liked it. I liked to see Vin Diesel before he was playing Dominic Torello, before he was before that pacifier movie. Oof, that one was not good. Set in the year 2672, 36, something like that. And of course, you have it is pretty much straight from Alien. When the group crash lands, they have to wonder what's going on. And there's this threat of these creatures that have these look about them that have a phobia of light but are nyctophilic, which means love of the dark, if you will. So, I'm like, okay, so what's going on here? Well, I don't know, roughly for the first, I would want to say hour, it's just figuring everything out. We get some characters. Most of them are just cannon fodder, if you will. You get a couple of them that are just eliminated in the first 40 minutes. You get one BA who's it looks like he's going to be gruff and everything with the voice, and then he gets taken out. I'm like, oh, come on, man. Well, what makes this movie work is its distinct style. We get various, for a while we get a desaturation of the characters. We get some we get some blue, we get some white and gray. This is to represent the motif of the way how Riddick views everything, because he had some surgery done to his eyes where he can't see excellently in the night. Just like this little kitty right here, how she can see, she's crepuscular. Well, technically it also makes Vin Diesel crepuscular, relating to Twilight. So yeah, I have to give it credit for that. You can tell just like saying, hey, in the light things aren't going so well here. So they're trying to put everything together, like when there could be some danger going on, because we all think that Riddick is going to be the danger. He doesn't really eliminate anyone. Because when they think that he took out a guy named Zeke, he's like, well, you just have to look deeper. And lo and behold, when the captain named Carol goes in and discovers there's some creatures, I'm like, yep, this is exactly where we're going. It's a movie about transitioning from who is the Kriller, but then having to team up with that Kriller for survival. Pretty much, it's exactly what you would think. But what does save it is that there's a lot of kineticism, a lot of movement going on. That's what I like, because they're trying to figure out what should happen. Hey, how can we get this ship running back up? Oh, we need these cells that will, these cells that help power the ships that weigh roughly 70 pounds apiece. You need 5 of them, so you can do the math, 300-ish pounds, and I'm 310 pounds. And I'm like, okay, that's 350 pounds altogether. So yeah, it's like then they gotta go and escape, and they also realize they see the fear of the light. So we get some great usage of light. I have to give credit for what David Toohey did. Not or Toohey, Toohe or something like that. That's what I liked here, is that when, I was watching The Arrival, they have this little gimmick and they make it work. This gimmick here works really well with the light. I like the way how, when they were traveling through the desert, it looked like they had it looked like it was a rave with a bunch of glow sticks, but the glow sticks were it was light. That I found to be really cool. And also when the creatures, have their own vision, which looks like scramble visions, like when like back in the days when you had cable, and you would like turn it to like the premium channels and so you just get all the static. That's what it was like. I mean, we get to see the outlines of a couple of characters, which I found to be really cool. And of course, when it's nighttime, you can feel the desolation. You can feel you can feel the tension going on, and of course, um, Vin Diesel is like, he's going around. He's like, yeah, he's spewing one-liners, but at the same time, he's in the beginning. He has a certain menace about him, with the way how with the way how he carries himself. There's a word called mean, MEIN. The way how one carries oneself, and also his rictus, his facial expression. Yeah, you just learned 2 new words. So that's what I like. I just like the way how it gets straight to the point. That's just exactly what this movie is. It's straight to the point. Yes, it does rely on some conventions that you're going to see. I mean, even the year 2670X. Yeah, they're still going to. They don't have like all the planets like what's the word, profiled in a international solar system database, and so we have to kind of rely on stuff that was done in the 1970s. And just like whatever. I guess the only thing I really had some objection was, yeah, you have some of the stock characters, whatever, and of course you have the guy who's a mercenary and has a history of it. Yeah, you're obviously gonna have that, whatever. But it's just like, it's I don't know. I mean, I like the lady who was playing Carolyn, the commander, how she is trying to keep the group together. You got Keith David playing an Arab, and I'm like, okay, I was unexpecting that. And I like his work in Hazbin Hotel and for Cold Case Files. That's what I liked about him. Here he's fine. I like him. He's kind of like the voice of reason. So yeah, I gotta give him credit. So it's like the characters aren't exactly the worst. A couple of them do stand out. I would like to know more about Paris the alcoholic. That would have been funny. He always thought he was going to die in France, but died on a planet. So yeah, with all that being said, it's like the contacts that Vin Diesel's wearing, they couldn't. One day they wouldn't be removed, so they had to call an optometrist who had to fly him, and it was 3 hours away. I'm just like, what the heck? That's absolutely insane. The desert that they were in Australia was 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Isn't that an oxymoron? Oxymoronic, a cold desert in the daytime. So they had to apply like little water or whatever to make the characters sweat. And there was also a scene where Vin Diesel got a panic attack when he was like too long in like a bay holding area. So yeah, definitely adds, like, even though he is a badass at the same time, yeah, obviously there's a little, not production issues or anything, but obviously it's like, yeah, when you have close-ups and stuff like that, but ultimately, you get some dang cool special effects, especially with like what's going on right here when the planet, when these 2 planets cause a total solar eclipse of the planet. Wow, that was a sight to see. Visually, it's beautiful. So yeah, with all that being said, yes, I actually do recommend that you watch Pitch Black, Vin Diesel's breakout role.